Tony Khan here for Seconds Out with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, it wasn't to be yesterday, the draw over the win against Denmark. What happened?
I did say, look, we are a funny old country, aren't we? We are top of the group. We are all but secured to progress to the knockout stages. You would have thought the world had ended in England, wouldn't you, with the response? I mean, I was listening to TalkSport last night. It was like doom and gloom. To be fair, you're talking to the wrong guy. I know I was giving it all the jokes about soccer, but you are talking to the wrong guy when you're talking about football knowledge. But I thought it was a lacklustre performance. Didn't think we looked like we had any energy. I would say it's difficult after a long season, isn't it? Imagine and again, not throwing myself into the mix, but I did 3 days at Soccer. Jesus Christ, it's taken me 3 weeks to recover. These guys are training hard every day, right, and playing in big matches all the time. I think it's difficult to come off a full season, and then go into this big moment like this and just try and make your body feel 100%. But they've got to get it right. But you know what? I would prefer that we started off shit and got better into the tournament than starting off amazing and then went to shit. But that's me, half full cup mentality, whereas most people are half empty, aren't they? Oh, fucking hell, we've got no chance. What a waste of time. Fucking Southgate shit. What about we go, hey, we ain't playing well, but we're already qualified. Imagine if we get it right. But we shall see.
Mark Dickinson has started off hot. He signalled his intentions to win the prize fighter tournament. Prize fighter tournaments aren't easy to get together. There was a debate the first time around, and Frank's been dealing with this one, but good to get this tournament revived over in Japan.
Yeah, for sure. And, when we say revived, it's changed quite considerably, hasn't it? You've gone from, 8 fighters on one night in 3 3-minute rounds for 32 grand prize check for the winner, to championship fights over a period of time with $1 million to the winner. So it's a massive opportunity for these guys in prize fighter. I love the format, knockout bonuses, and also probably a shot potentially at a world title for the winner. You're going to come through with a big profile. You're going to come through with a sack load of money, and prize fighter begins in July in Japan, and we can't wait.
Let's get your thoughts on the breaking news overnight, that being the situation regarding Ryan Garcia's case. He's now been handed a ban for a year, as well as a fine, which has gone to Golden Boy Promotions, a fine that goes to the commission as well too, and the decision in the Haney fight has been overturned to a no contest. Your reaction?
I wish I got £1 million every time a fighter tests positive. I'm not sure how that works out, but firstly, I think I like the way the New York State Athletic Commission have dealt with it so quickly. I have no idea of the situation or the case or the hearing, but it's my opinion that they probably went in with almost like a guilty plea to do a deal. And sometimes that's the quickest way to deal with it. When you've got someone that's so adamant of his innocence, like Conor Benn, it's hard to convince them to go and do a deal and basically say, sorry guys, because he never wanted to do that, still to this day. And in the end, it's like, that's sometimes the easiest way to deal with this situation, is to go in and do a deal. So I presume they didn't fight his innocence, really, in a hearing, because the hearing, I don't think it even went on particularly long. It was a conversation between the parties and a deal was reached. I think the no contest is absolutely right, and obviously that's great for Devin. Ryan will sit out for a year. My worry with Ryan is what happens in that year. I don't think it's this carbon copy of, I'll chill out and I'll start training in 9 months and I'll see you in a year. He's going to have to deal with a lot of shit along the way now, and I worry for him. And I think Devin might end up sitting out, to be honest with you. I don't see him taking a Sandor Martin fight. At the same time, I don't think that, would he go to Australia to fight Paro? I mean, the Ryan Garcia fight's a big fight, that rematch, when it comes back around. But will Ryan even return to boxing? I don't know. But it's a right fucking mess, to be honest with you. That's the reality of the situation.
I just want to get your thoughts, just obviously in that observer here, but what damage will this do to Ryan Garcia's reputation, both in fans' eyes and also commercially?
Well, commercially, it doesn't really matter, because I don't feel like he's commercially in a great place in terms of the corporate world. I mean, he's well out there. You're not, and I don't blame him for that, but obviously corporate sponsors and stuff like that aren't going to want to attach themselves to Ryan before this incident because of the stuff on social media and etc. And that's his prerogative. There's no problem with that. Some people don't want to play that game. Anyway, in terms of the commercial value of him, I don't actually think it really affects him. Some might not like that, and some might not think it's sad. But that's the reality. More people are talking about him. More people are fascinated by his implosion. More people want to potentially see him fight or what happens next. So Ryan will be fine commercially. Do you know what I mean? I worry more about what happens now to Ryan with the criticism, with the layoff, not being able to fight again. He's going to have to go another 6, 7, 8 months without being in a training camp. And if you look at what's happening on social media, that's a worrying thing, but not my responsibility. I wish him all the best. Well done for dealing with it quickly. We haven't really got to the truth of the matter. Did he actually knowingly ingest this, or was it really a mistake? But that's one of the beauties of going in and doing a deal. You accept the guilt, take the rap on the wrist, and move on.
The other side of it, in regards to damages, whilst the loss was overturned to a no contest, you can't ever get rid of the visuals of Devin Haney being knocked down. And
Look, I feel for Devin because he got battered in the fight and he showed unbelievable heart. And that Ryan Garcia had performance-enhancing drugs in his system when he boxed Devin. And he could have been badly injured in that fight. He could have lost his life. That's the more serious side of this, which when it gets brushed under the carpet of just accepting a ban, you're kind of taking away the fact of, hold on, did you intentionally do this to cause damage to Devin Haney? So you never know if Devin will be the same fighter coming back after a night like that. Luckily, he's young enough, he's fresh enough, he lives the life. So I'm sure he'll be fine. But if you're Devin, psychologically and mentally, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Do you anticipate that Ryan Garcia will look to fight in another jurisdiction?
No, I don't. Because what's the point? You got a year. I mean, he couldn't fight in the next 4 or 5 months anyway. Because he's have you seen him? I mean, he's looks worse than me in a pair of shorts. So, what you got? I don't know if it's a backdated ban. I don't know if that was announced. Was it from April or is it from yesterday? But either is the key now is to get him prepared for the comeback. Yeah. So if I was his promoter or I was around him, I would sit down and say, right, this is a shit situation. We know what we've got to do now. We know when you can return to the ring. In the meantime, let's put your phone down. Let's come off social media and let's go and have 3 or 4 weeks in a training facility or a camp just to clear your mind, get yourself ready, come back strong, prepared, deal with the media in a different way, deal with life in a different way, and get ready for your return to boxing. Because he has a massive ceiling in boxing, Ryan Garcia. Really good fighter. He's an intriguing personality, but he's going to implode. And if they don't grab hold of him, especially this time now, he hasn't got to go back into camp for 8 or 9 months. Imagine Ryan Garcia in 8 or 9 months if he carries on like this. You'll never see him in boxing again. So hopefully, now that's been dealt with, someone can grab hold of him and deal with him in the right way.
That's on this, on Haney. He says, look, they're going to try and do the rematch once this is all sorted. And then also says he's not going to return to boxing the conventional way. He's going to do whatever he wants, he won't adhere to weight classes. What does that mean for you working with him going forward?
Yeah, he's just sulking a little bit at the moment, I think, and Devin's a bright guy, but he doesn't know enough about the business. And I think sometimes people will let him down in that respect. The rematch is really big, and I think he will probably end up doing that rematch. I think he may sit out the same. I'm not sure Devin will fight again this year. I don't think they want to fight till the back end of the year anyway. And I don't think he'll fight Sandor Martin. And would he accept a fight with Liam Paro in Australia? Maybe not. Or maybe he'd just sit there and say, fuck it, I'll just fight Ryan Garcia in a rematch, make loads of money and see what happens.
The thing that's come out as well is Tyson Fury has broken his silence regarding the video and also the fight with Oleksandr Uysk. First of all, he called and compared Oleksandr Uysk, a local amateur boxer.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, Tyson's Tyson, isn't he? I mean, it was a very close fight. I thought most people thought that Usyk edged the fight. Fury didn't. And of course you wouldn't. But I think Fury can win the rematch. But obviously Usyk, he's very, very good. And sometimes you have to take it on the chin.
Did you get what you wanted to hear from Fury? He said that, look, I've seen the video. I just had a bit of a drink, had a bit of a night out, and it wasn't anything more to it. I'm fine. The context of my previous woes aren't there, and I'm okay, essentially.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure he is. Again, I said this the other day. A lot of fighters are real lightweights, me included, and I'm definitely not a fighter. But sometimes, as you get a little bit older, and he's been training, don't forget, for 7 months straight? If he had 3 or 4 pints, he's probably legless. So, hopefully it's just that, and let him enjoy himself. It's a very as a fighter, you've got to live the life, but at the same time, there's a huge amount of pressure on people like that. You know, they're training day in, day out. They're under scrutiny from the media, social media. So someone every now and again is going to have a few drinks. Unfortunately, in that world, you're not supposed to behave like that. But who ain't had too many drinks? So I'm sure he's fine, getting back in camp and prepare for a massive rematch in December. I think he can do it.
Cheers, Eddie. Appreciate it. Thanks.